What is up, guys? So, here it is. The Crusader Kings 3, A Game of Thrones mod has finally released. And yeah, I mean, I was pretty hyped about this mod. I think everyone was. I looked on Steam. It's already got like 50,000 downloads, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. This is my first time playing it. I did hop in briefly as Tywin Lannister, just so I could look around and get a feel for the world. But I didn't really play more than like a couple days. So this is going to be my first time playing it, and it's probably you guys' first time seeing it. Well, that's not true. You're probably watching some big YouTuber, you know, some big privileged guy got friggin' early access or something, but who knows. But I think I am going to jump in right as Tywin Lannister in the Robert's Rebellion bookmark. I'm not going to be playing on Iron Man mode. That doesn't mean I'm going to be safe scumming or anything, but it's just, there's no point because I can't even get any achievements for it. But that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be jumping in, playing Tywin Lannister. And yeah, let's check this out. This is new to me, just like it's new to you guys. I like the art. Pretty good art. So yeah, I'm a big fan of both Crusader Kings and A Game of Thrones, or A Song of Ice and Fire. I've read the books, watched the show. I'm pretty good with it, even though they botched the ending with the TV show, in my opinion. So I'm just holding out for that, what is it, 6th book, Winds of Winter? Probably never gonna happen. And if it does happen, then the 7th one definitely isn't happening. Taking a bit to load here, but not surprising. It's a pretty damn big mod. 7 gigs, I think, when I downloaded it. And my PC isn't exactly the greatest thing in the world. Maybe I'll probably just edit this out. Not good at editing, though. Come on. Come on. Come on. Stop being so slow. Okay, and here we are. Jumped right in. So we have an event here, the Lion and the Dragon. I do believe that there are some, like, storylines that you can go through. Kind of makes sense. I used to play the Crusader Kings 2 mod, the Game of Thrones mod, a lot, so I'm pretty familiar with how this should work. So, in my chambers, surrounded by maps and letters, I ponder the chaos engulfing the 7 kingdoms. The rebellion against the Mad King Aerys is gaining strength, and I must decide soon. Aerys and I were once friends, but our relationship has soured over the years for various reasons, the last being naming my son and heir, Jaime, to the King's Guard. Aerys' madness has only worsened, and his rule has become more tyrannical by the day. In contrast, Robert Baratheon has proven to be a capable warrior as the rebels' leader, with a great question about his ability to rule. The idea of betraying Aerys is risky, yet tempting, but waiting, at least now, may be the best option as the sides may turn one way or another. The fate of the kingdoms hang in the balance. So yeah, here we are, Tywin Lannister, Lord of the Westerlands, Lord of Casterly Rock, Lannister. If you're familiar with the books or the show, then obviously you know the Lannisters, and you should know Tywin. One of my favorite characters in the books and the show, especially in the show, because Charles Dance does a fantastic job playing him. It's a little slow, a little laggy, but that's probably a mix of the fact that it's a new mod and my computer, you know, not being optimized for this kind of stuff, but I think it should run fine. It was running fine when I tested it earlier. But yeah, I really like this detail they have on the map here, like how you see, like, there's like, this is Lannisport, the city, and I love how the individual baronies within them are like split up within the city. You can see this even more in King's Landing. See, like, it's like you zoom in and like the Red Keep is here, but it's only like this part, and then you have like Hook Market, Visenya's Hill. Like, it's like within the city are the different zones that the lower lords are lower, you know, like the masters of the city and the septons of the sept. The Eyrie is really cool with this. Look at this. It's like it has like all the gates as you go up the mountain to the Eyrie. Oh, this is slow. I'll probably figure out how to fix that for my next playthrough. But see, like it goes up the mountain. You have like all the gates as you go up. Finally reach the Eyrie, and that I just think that's really cool. Let's look at the wall. See how the wall looks. Looking good. I like how they have the little elevator thing there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is just really cool, and they use the Iberian struggle, I don't know what the word is, mechanic for Beyond the Wall and for the Night's Watch itself. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to goals for this playthrough, so goals, obviously, Tywin, we're going to be, some light role-playing. We're not going to role-play completely. I am going to make decisions how I'm going to make, some decisions I'll make based on roleplay, some I'll make based on, meta, playing the game. So we got a lot of troops. Right now we're not involved in the war, the rebellion against the Iron Throne, against the Mad King. So I think I'm going to remain not involved, but I'm going to kind of do what Tywin did in the actual, source material. If Robert starts winning, I'll join him. And I do want to end up marrying Cersei to Robert if I get the chance. I don't really know who else I'm going to marry her to if I don't get the chance to do that. Maybe like an event will pop up that'll like make that happen. I'm not exactly sure. But let me take a deeper look at some of my decisions. I didn't look at this earlier. Impossible to become... That's good, because I hate when they always keep asking. Disallow petitioners... Possibility for vassals to petition you. Wow, seems like they give you a lot of options here. Recover Bright Roar. Oh, we're definitely going to be doing that at some point. Could lead to the death of the explorer. Ooh, we're definitely going to do that. For those of you that don't know, Bright Roar is the Valyrian steel sword of the Lannisters. Valyrian steel obviously being, like the strongest steel you can get in this universe. And the Lannisters lost their sword, Bright Roar. Like hundreds of years ago, so we're definitely gonna probably end up recovering that. Probably not now, because I want to save this massive amount of money I have for anything I might need it for, more practical. But yeah, like you got all the characters here. You got the Mad King, you got Rhaegar, Ned Stark, Jon Arryn, and of course Robert. You got everybody. Let's take a look at my immediate family. So we got Tywin, of course, the Lord of the Casterly Rock. Really brutal, kind of psychopathic almost kind of guy, but very capable leader. Probably the best politician in the Game of Thrones universe, at least in the show and books. Or at least one of the best. And then we got, of course, my immediate family. We got Cersei, everyone's favorite Mad Queen 2.0. We got Jaime. Looks a little weird on the character model, but I wish his hair was a little bit more blonde, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. That's something that happened in the show. As the show went on, like, he got, like, brown hair. They did the same thing with Tyrion. So Tyrion is my heir, although, of course, if you are familiar with the show and the books, Tywin does not like Tyrion. But usually when I play Crusader Kings in Game of Thrones, and I'm playing as Tywin, I take a nicer role with Tyrion. I kind of don't, I don't treat him like crap. Like, if he becomes my heir, I'd rather have Jaime as my heir, and I think there probably will be, like, an event where I can get him out of the Kingsguard, and if that happens, I am going to do that. But Tyrion as a backup heir is not bad at all. I mean, he's genius, he's got great stats, and it'll only get better once he finishes his education. I am going to keep him on stewardship, I think. But other than that, let's start to make some initial moves. So we're going to go to stewardship, of course. Tywin's got insane stewardship, good intrigue. I might swap to intrigue later, just so I could scheme around and maybe, I don't really have set goals for this playthrough. I think I do want to, obviously if I get the chance to, like, take the Iron Throne or something, I'm going to do it. But maybe get independence for the Westerlands. If I get an opportunity to do that, I might do that. There's a lot of things I could do, or I can just kind of ride out my role as the Lord Paramount over here and just kind of lead a successful, stable little Lord Paramount kingdom. This right here is something new, or exclusive to this mod, choose patron aspect. I guess you choose one aspect of the Faith of the Seven, which of course is the dominant faith here in southern Westeros, with the old gods being in the north, and the drowned god over here, but they're kind of crappy over there. So what's this religion over here? County Faith Warring Star. What is that? I'm gonna have to take a look at that in a minute. But first, let me choose my patron aspect. I guess you go over here. Oh, that's cool. So you can choose the father, the mother, the warrior. You can choose, and it gives you bonuses. I think I'm gonna choose Stranger Stress Gain. I don't like that. And Hostile. Well, I guess that's for you. Diplomacy, close family, mother, warrior. Warrior might be the best thing I can go with right now. Or the smith. What's my learning look like? Not great, but I could afford to lose 1 point. I think we're gonna go with the warrior. Oh, that's good. I thought there would be like you could just switch it at any time too. That's pretty sick. Or not. Wait, I didn't even realize I just used up all my piety switching like that, like an idiot. Well, okay, I guess we're stuck with the smith for now, but that's not bad. That was my second choice anyway. Maybe we can get some buildings going since I got all this money. So let's see, we got Godswood, Fishing Net, Weavers. Can I construct a duchy building? What do I want? Royal Armories is always good. Siege Works is always good. Mill Academy. Jousting Ground. Cavalry is pretty or tax offices. I can just go for full money playthrough style. Oh, I'm making 32 a month, so I'm not really at a loss for money. Maybe leisure palaces would be good. I can get control in all my counties. Prestige, stress loss. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with leisure palaces. And then maybe we'll build one more thing while I got all the... Oh, I can't. I forgot I can't while it's something else. But I can build something here. This is held by, I guess, Lancel. Yeah, he is part of my dynasty. Maybe some quarries. Let's get some barracks going. And then we'll hold off on building for the rest of that. So we are over our domain limit. That's because we hold both, Casterly Rock and the surrounding lands, except for Lannisport. But we also hold the Casterly Rock lands. If you know anything about the lore of the Game of Thrones universe, then you'll know what happened there. Tywin basically massacred the entire family, House Rhaen and House Tarbeck. That's why he has like 50,000 kills, including like 9-year-olds and 13-year-olds. We just destroyed that whole family. So yeah, this guy, you don't want to mess around with him. So we could probably get rid of some of these and give them the other members of our family. Definitely, this is something that people that only watch the show might not know, but Tywin does have more than just one brother. In the show, he only has Kevin Lannister here, but in the books, he does have Tyget and Jerian, although by the time the books are happening, they're dead. Or missing. Like, I think Jerian goes off to find Brightroar, the Valyrian steel sword, but he goes missing, and there are theories that he's still alive and all that, but, we're probably never going to see that come to fruition in the books. And then this guy died of, like, I don't know, fever or some shit. So maybe we can give something. I don't want to give it to Kevin, because if something goes wrong and Jaime and Tyrion die, then Kevin will be our heir. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if I give it to Kevin, because if he's our heir, then we'll just get the titles back anyway. So I think I'm going to give him... If anyone's going to be the new Lord of Castamere, it will be Kevin. So maybe I should just directly give him Castamere, but I don't want to do that yet. So I'll give something to Tyget here. 7 points, Castamere. I'll give him... Why not give him 7 points? And then I'll give Garion Pendrick Hills. And there you go. Our domain problem is solved. Our two brothers are now landed in the former Castamere lands, and if I ever want to get rid of Castamere and the lordship or the duchy itself, then I'll give it to Kevin. But other than that, I think it's time to get the time rolling. Let's negotiate that alliance real quick. I can create a high lordship. I don't really need to do that right now, but let's get this time rolling and see how it goes. Really curious to see how the AI handles Robert's Rebellion. +4 for Robert right now. That guy. I could declare independence right now. I'm not gonna do that though. Let's hop in the court actually. Huh. Looks pretty good, I guess. Looks like really the base game courts. Aristocratic pretensions. 3 of my quarters are discussing my great number of titles within Distinguished Knight Cleos, Damon, held high. You guys can take the time to pause and read this if you want. These guys just want my titles. I ain't giving you guys titles. Let's look at my core artifacts. Let's definitely get our Lannister banner up there. House banner. Let's get those up. We are not married, by the way, because Tywin's wife died, and I am refusing marriage, so I can't marry even if I wanted to. I believe Cersei also has that trait. Jaime's in the King's Guard. Tyrion is 9 years old. So, yeah. My entourage and I have just arrived at Casterly Rock. Important matters. So this is the Lord of Land's Point. He's not a Lannister, is he? No. Receive Lord Garrison. Okay, let's bring him in. At last at my great hall. Thank you for seeing me, my liege. I come to you today with an urgent request. My lands pale in comparison to your mighty capital, as they should. Please spare some of Casterly Rock. What, you want me to give? You just want a handout? Is that what you want? So I can lose development and give him some development. And get some positive modifiers there. I can get renown too. Minor compensation. Feast fires will grow, but you will owe. I could use a hook on this guy. I'll do it for a hook. He accepted. Okay. This guy's coming in too. Oh, this must be what turn off petition is for, because I feel like this is gonna happen a lot. Oh damn, they're all asking for the same thing. They want handouts. I don't really want to do that. Who is this guy? Is he like a High Lord, or is he like High Lordship of Withermore? He likes me good enough. We do have absolute crown authority, I see there, which could be a problem. I don't really want to destroy my development too much, so I'm gonna have to refuse this guy. And if it happens again, yeah, it is happening again, and it's an act of tyranny if I refuse. I might have to turn these petitions off. Well, what is this? Lord this is different. He, please my lord, let me sit on your council. I would share the burdens of your realm of your marshal. Well, let's take a look at your marshal. 24. You are a smaller lord. You're a lesser lord compared to who is my marshal now. Well, that's my chancellor. Oh, so I could replace my marshal or my chancellor. This is my current marshal? Oh, he's not even a lord. And he's only 11? Yeah, you should. Yeah, you're gonna be my new marshal. Let's take a look at my council, actually. So here's the new guy we just got in, Lord Norwin. Better marshal than the last guy, so that's good. Let's get this control up over here. We got Lord Roland of Crakehall. Lord Andros of Hornvale. Pretty good stats on these guys. Oh, we do have an admiral position. That's pretty cool. And it's the Lord of Withermore. Lord Leo. Is there a better spy master I can employ? This guy. He is a powerful vassal too, but so is he. I think I'm going to replace him. And what was that one thing I wanted to take a look at earlier? Oh yeah, I wanted to look at what that weird religion was. Warring Star. Warring Star is a sect of the Faith of the Seven, formed by the most extreme members of the Faith Militant, which holds that incest, especially that conducted by the Valyrians, is an unholy abomination. Okay, so this is like traditionalist Faith of the Seven, kind of like, you know, if you watch the show or read the books when the High Sparrow takes over, kind of like that religion. God, yeah, I really don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna have to turn these off. Your borders are my borders. I can give this guy. I can't even afford that. I can do it for a favor. Yeah, no, I can't even afford that. I'm gonna turn petitions off. Disallow petitioners. Let's do that, because that's getting kind of annoying. Chartering lands. My steward's proposing that he would benefit the kingdom. Yeah, let's do it. Paying homage. Oh, it's my brother, Lord Garyon. I wait patiently on my throne for Lord Garyon. He kneels in deference. He doesn't give me any money. Sometimes they give me money when they do that, but it's alright. I can take it. He's my brother after all. Passing in Lord Leo's lands, we are met by a knight. Lord Leo bids you welcome, my king. You are more than welcome in these lands as long as you require. Let's do it. Lord Leo's lands. Playful experimentation, 1 intrigue, or mud raking, or more stewardship. More intrigue couldn't hurt. The stewardship is already through the roof. This is a good place to camp. Let's move on swiftly. Let's take a look at how this war's going. 14%. He's occupying Goldtown and Osgoodwell, and he's won some battles. Looking pretty good. Let's see how the Mad King is doing. Not good. He hates me too, by the way. Oh, he's my rival. I should probably take a look at some of my rivals and friends if I have any. Friends are my brother Kevin, and rivals are Ares. Okay, so yeah. I really hope... I kind of do want Robert to get the upper hand, so I do eventually want to join him and overthrow Ares. Chartering lands, hills, valleys, blah blah blah. Different than Castle Rock. Knowledge will be... I can get 1 stewardship or affirmed rule. Let's go with the stewardship. And let's get the administrator trait. Always a good trait to have. Stewardship might be the most OP lifestyle in this game, honestly, in the base game at least. Under a false banner, the time has come to make an important decision. The war against King Ares... No, the war King Ares incited has weakened his and his house's position in Westeros. With the Red Keep in King's Landing being his last major stronghold. With the Red Keep... Oh, I read that. With a well-executed feint, I could manage to capture the city and the Red Keep and put an end to the abomination of 7 hells. The day of his reign must come to an end. So I could do it too great danger and not intervene, or... Oh, so I can do the sack of King's Landing here. You must physically lead and command your army to King's Landing to continue your plot. Ares would get suspicious if you weren't there personally. Wow, so I could... Let's do that. They could hear me roar. Okay, so I'm not even in the war right now, but I literally could do what he does in the lore of Game of Thrones. I could... If I raise my army and march to King's Landing, it's going to start like an event chain, I guess, where I sack the city. Oh, that's awesome. Let's do this. Let's raise all my men here. I got like, what, 30,000 men? Something like that. Let's get them all together. Let's get them together down here, and then I have to personally lead them to the city. Here I am. I like how I have commanders that are like way better than me. And let's march. Let's march to that Red Keep, baby. And let's sack the city. Let's do it. I really like how they did that. That's pretty cool. Let's see what these models look like. It's just a guy with a hood. Maybe I got too many archers in my army or something. I don't know. We did it. We did it. Okay. Under a false banner, I have now brought my forces from the Westerlands towards the gate. We hail the guards and tell them to tell the king that we have come to save them, and that they must open the gates so we defend the city. They suspect nothing. Here we go. With the city gates open and the vast streets of King's Landing lying before me and my men, I am 1 step closer to my goal. However, soldiers need spoils. My men are hungry and the city is ripe for harvest. As I let my dogs loose on the sheep in the streets, I continue my ascent of Aegon's high hill, the Red Keep looming above me. As we reach the gates, we find them barred, the castle's garrison standing their ground, arrows raining. Gregor and Amory, together with well-chosen soldiers, begin climbing the pale red walls. Shouting is heard from the top of the Red Keep steps. Okay. So, if you're not familiar with the lore, this is Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, and he's a pretty infamous character, and Amory Lorch, who's really more important in the books. So, they're going to end up pulling a pretty gamer move here. We'll see. Okay, so I guess this brings me right into the war. So, bring me his head. Lord Paramount, Tywin of the Westerlands, from now on supports Lord Paramount, Robert of the Stormlands. So I'm going to join the war on Robert's side, assign you, and it's going to assign me as a commander for Robert. Now, here's the interesting part, because of course, in the show and books, Jaime Lannister, when this happened, defected and killed the Mad King to stop him from burning down the entire city and killing everyone within it. So, pretty cool move. And he also kills the Pyromancer. But it looks like here there's a chance that it won't work. So 70% chance that Jaime fights off Barristan Selmy, one of the most Chad characters in the show. Well, in the show, they kind of did him dirty and killed him off in a back alley. He literally gets stabbed to death in a back alley by spoilers, by the way, in a back alley by a bunch of, like, worthless scrubs. But in the books, he's still a badass, literally leading the defensive marine. But as you can see, 42 prowess, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the highest in the entire mod right now. So there's a 70% chance that Jaime manages to fight him off. Jaime also himself being one of the best warriors. Or there's a 30% chance that Jaime is thrown to the ground by Barristan and fails to kill Rossert. So that would be bad. I don't know if that would lead to, like, Jaime's death and maybe mine, because the whole city's going to go up. But let's roll the dice here and do this under a false banner. The air was thick with blood and death as Gregor and Amory approached me, both clothed in blood, their eyes filled with lust. Their looks leave no doubt the deed is done. The Loyalists stood their ground in the Red Keep, but they did not stand a chance against the Lion of the West. My scouts have already informed me of rebel forces heading towards the capital. A new era is dawning. The Lion still has claws. So, yeah, I'm surprised. So, yeah, in the books and in the show, Gregor and the other guy, Amory, basically, I can't really say what they do to the wife here, Elia Martell, the wife of Prince Rhaegar. They do things, and then they kill her, and then they kill her 2 children as well. But for some reason, that's not showing here. They're still alive. I guess maybe, I don't know, we'll see how that works out. I want to see how Jaime did. War of the Usurper, the war led by King Robert of the Iron Throne, was won against Aegon Targaryen. Okay, so this is interesting. First of all, that's kind of weird, because we basically just cheesed that whole war. Like, I don't know if Robert won, like, a major battle, and then we kind of just ended the war with, like, an event. That's kind of weird, if you ask me. Like, I'm not complaining, because it's, you know, it suits my purposes for this playthrough, but, that's pretty cool. There was nothing like that in Crusader Kings 2, A Game of Thrones. You kind of just had to play the war and let the chips fall where they may. But we basically just cheesed that whole war. So yeah, it looks like, I guess in this mod, the 2 children were not killed by Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, and, what's his face? Amory Lorch. And it looks like, so for all intents and purposes, Robert won the war, and now he has Aegon Targaryen, the young son of Rhaegar, in prison. But it looks like the Battle of the Trident did occur as it occurred in the lore, with Rhaegar killed at the Trident by King Robert himself in a duel. So that's pretty cool. So let's disband our men. I don't think we need them anymore. A curse undone. Twist of and Aerys. How did he die? Killed by Jaime. There we go. So Jaime went full Kingslayer. Nice, nice. So Robert is now the king of the Iron Throne. We are back under Robert. He's my liege now. I am going to marry Cersei to him if it gives me... I don't know if it's going to do it through event or if I have to do it manually. We'll see. But King Aerys was killed by my son, Jaime. I lose 3 stress. Let's get this time rolling. Let's see. Petition liege, hold the grand tourney, hold court. I guess I should formally pay homage to Robert. Let's do that. Demonstrate submission, give nothing. I can give him some gold. Let's give him some gold. Oh, that looks sick. Nice, they have the Iron Throne. Full Iron Throne going. There's my son, Jaime. Servants usher me to King Robert's great hall in the Red Keep, where he sits on his throne, waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge the many oaths of homage as his scribes record the event. My attendants then follow, presenting my rich gift to the king. Bids me arise, confirms his satisfaction, along with the right to rule, along with the rights to the lands I ruled instead. So I'm going to gain some renown. He gets opinion of me. I get prestige. Nice, very good. Okay, let's see if there's more events about how this is going to play out here. I think the Lyanna stuff has to happen with the whole Tower of Joy thing. Ooh, he wants me to be the steward. I would rather be the hand of the king myself, but I'll be the steward. I'm now the steward of the Iron Throne. Still, look, here we go, Tower of Joy. So, spoilers for anyone that is not familiar with the source material, the books, or the show. Basically, it's kind of confirmed in the show, but not confirmed in the books, but basically, everyone knows it's true. Lyanna and Rhaegar have a child who we're about to see, and it is going to be. Hold on, wait. It actually just says it right here in the event. A raven arrives with news from Dorne. Lyanna Stark, the younger sister of Eddard, the betrothed of Robert Baratheon, has been found alive in a watchtower of the Dornish Mountains. But the news comes with complications. Lyanna is pregnant with Rhaegar Targaryen's child. Robert's fury will be terrible, one cannot doubt. This is interesting. So maybe if you play as Ned Stark, you have a choice to either do what he did in the actual books and show, which is he took the baby and passed it off as his own bastard. It was Jon Snow. Rhaegar and Lyanna's baby was Jon Snow. That's kind of it's confirmed in the show. Basically true in the books, even though no one really mentions it. But I guess maybe if you play as Ned Stark here, you have the option to either go along with that or maybe just expose it out into the open. And is Lyanna going to survive? Or is she dead? No, she's still alive. But is Robert still betrothed to her? He's not. Let me see if I can arrange this marriage with Cersei. There we go. It's gonna work. Let's do it. Invited to a grand tourney. I have better things to do. Tywin's not really a tourney kind of guy. There we go. Robert is now married to Cersei. I didn't really know if there was gonna be like an event where that would happen, or if I had to do it manually, so I just did it manually. Maybe there's an event and I missed it. If so, whatever. But of course, if you're familiar with the lore of the book and the show, you know that Cersei isn't exactly faithful to Robert and is actually in an incestuous relationship with her brother Jaime. Jaime, by the way, is one of the best characters, one of my favorite characters in the books and the show, so I'm pretty biased towards him. So I do want him to actually be my heir. You can see here that he killed a bunch of people when he betrayed the Mad King. Rightfully so, by the way. I do want to see if I can get Jaime out of the Kingsguard, if that's possible. Offer knight tutelage. Offer King Robert a knight. Nah. Tyrion is now 10. So yeah, we're going to have to see how this whole, Cersei being a lover with Jaime thing plays out. It actually obviously doesn't show because it would be a secret. She is rivaled with Tyrion, though. I don't like that. We're gonna have to see how this whole Jaime and Cersei thing plays out. And I know that in Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones mod, basically Jaime and Cersei start out as lovers, and they do go on. And usually Robert finds out at some point in the game and ends up killing Jaime, sometimes killing Cersei, or at least divorcing her. Something happens. Of course, if you watched the show or read the books, you know that is not what happens. And they have 3 children, Jaime and Cersei, but she passes them off as Robert's children. And of course, that's the kind of catalyst for all the events of the books and the TV show. Okay, so Robert's invited me to a tourney at King's Landing. This one I am going to go to, because I'm pretty sure it's for the whole realm, and there might be some interesting events that could happen. Tourney of King's Landing. When at last I reach the tourney grounds, I spare a moment to take in the... Am I participating, or am I just watching? Yep, I am participating. Let's participate. Let's see how, despite my best efforts, I was defeated. Yeah, Tywin isn't exactly... Tywin's a great character, even though he's not exactly the most physical of characters. He's much more rules and dominates with his mind and with his strategy and stuff like that. So despite my best efforts, I was defeated. I'm going to watch the remaining... I just want to take a look and see if Ned Stark, he does... Wait, no, that's Robert, never mind. So yeah, it looks like the whole... Oh no, died in childbirth. Where's the child? Here's Jon Snow. Okay, so that's interesting. Maybe there's an option where... Because Jon Snow right now, of course, one of the most iconic characters of the series and book series, book and show. That's interesting. It just openly has his parents as Rhaegar and Lyanna. Maybe Ned has an option if you play as Ned Stark. He has an option where he could pass him off as his bastard or just let the truth be out. And it looks like right now the truth is just out. He's just directly the bastard of Rhaegar Targaryen. So that's very interesting. We're gonna have to see how that plays out if it does. Right now Jon Snow's just chilling in Dorne somewhere. Herald announces the next hill. Jon and Lord Lewis take their place on the list. Let's see how this works out. Lord Lewis prevailed against Lord Jon. Okay, so it's just going to be a bunch of these. They had this kind of event chain in CK2, a Game of Thrones as well. Let's see if I recognize any of these guys. Neither of these guys. Lord Gunser. Did he just die? Did he die in the tourney? Why is it not showing? Come on, I want to see the cause of death. Yeah, he died. It didn't say that in the event, though. Lord Quentin versus Lord Lucerys of Driftmark. He's the Valerion. If you're watching the new Game of Thrones spin-off, House of the Dragon, you will be very familiar with the Valerions. Lord Quentin has prevailed against Lord Lucerys, so there go the Valerians. These are just two random dudes. I hope this doesn't last too long. Two random dudes. Two random dudes still. Lord Melwyn. Two random dudes. Maybe I could I do want to see who wins, though. That's kind of why I'm going along with this. Oh, I can't even skip it. So I really have no choice. Master David. Man, there's a lot of people in this friggin' tourney. This is ridiculous. They might need a way to speed this up, maybe a little bit. They had the same thing in CK2 Game of Thrones, but it was not this long. Okay, it's over. Shield's been splintered. Of all the knights of true riders who entered, only Master David remains unconquered. So just some random dude, some random lowborn dude won. That's kind of lame. I thought that my son would win. Jaime, he's, the legendary guy of the entire, he's like one of the most legendary sword fighters in the lore of the show and the books. Mystery's a 7-point star. My son Tyrion, who, by the way, I'm educating Tyrion directly myself. As I said, I do intend to have a better relationship with him in this playthrough than Tywin does in the actual books and show. It's kind of funny that he has 99 opinion of me. He has a hurt minus 49 opinion. I'm not really sure what that's from, because the whole Tysha incident didn't happen. If you know about that, then you know. You will do well. So I can give Tyrion humble. Doesn't seem like Tyrion. He's not a very humble person. Or I can give him content. I don't really want him to be content. And humble's not bad. So you know what? I am going to give him humble. Petition Liege, hold court. Let's hold court and see what those events happen. See if they're the same as vanilla, or if they're maybe a little spiced up for the mod. Lord Paramount, this boy has been. Yeah, this is a vanilla. This is a vanilla event. I'll find a home for him. I propose a cadastral survey of all the counties you own. $500. Whatever. I got a shit ton of money anyway. Your lordness, I come here, from Trembling with a matter of great import. You see, a farmer's been... Jeez, I can't even read this. Okay, so someone's banging someone else's wife. I can get common touch, highfalutin. That is more Tywin-like to be highfalutin. Let's just get this rolling. Let's take a look at some of these events again, see if I can't do anything maybe a little interesting. I do want to recover Bright Roar. I think once I get back to the amount of money I have, debug, I have more gold trigger. Once I get back to the amount of money I need for that, I think I will recover Bright Roar. It looks like Robert is offering me a squire. He's trying to give me Patch Face as a squire. If any of you know the lore of Game of Thrones, you'd know why that's funny. You know what? I'm gonna do it just for the laughs. I could train my ooh, this is interesting. So I can personally train my squire. It's my responsibility to train them in the ways. I mean, just look at these. Take a look at some of these, particularly these two and this one. So Patchface is an interesting character, pretty spooky kind of character in the books, not in the show at all. So apparently he's my squire now. You can see he's got an interesting look there. So we're gonna see how this works out. Let's see, what kind of skill? Let's train him to be chivalrous. During the training, Patchface did not show any form of chivalry. That's not surprising if you know anything about this character. Disappointing. Friggin' Robert just sends me off Patchface. Let's see how Cersei has a sword. That's kind of funny. Who did she kill? Oh yeah, she killed her. Spoiler, it's not really a big spoiler, but she kills her friend when they were children. So that's the kind of woman she is. She is pregnant, though. Now, the question is, I like how it says the amount of time that she's been pregnant. Now, the question is that Robert's child, or is that her brother and my son Jaime's child? I guess that's just something we're going to have to see. Or maybe we'll never find out. But, of course, the game right now is treating it as if it is Robert's child. Let's try to train Patchface again. Let's train him in swordsmanship. During our training, he demonstrated quick thinking and martial prowess with his practice sword. It was impressive. Good, good. Patchface is going to be the deadliest knight in all the Seven Kingdoms under my tutelage. Let's zoom in, maybe see if I can't. Actually, I do have the money, I believe, to try to recover Bright Roar. I think I'm going to try to do that, and then I'm going to maybe call it a day for here. This is definitely a series. I know I'm not very good at continuing or let alone completing my series. But since this is a new mod, and it's highly anticipated by both myself and by other people, I am going to continue this mod and keep playing. I'm definitely probably going to play past Tywin's death, play as either Jaime or Tyrion. It's looking like it's going to be Tyrion, because I don't think that there's a way I can get Jaime out of the Kingsguard, at least right now. Usually, I think in CK2 there's like an event that could happen where you could do that, but it does not appear to be a decision or an event I can do. Maybe if I click on Robert, let me see. Diplomacy, personal. Yeah, it does not seem like that is something I'm able to do manually, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. My quarter Shira has given birth to Shira Crakehall. Who's she married to? Damian Lannister. My cousin's son, so some distant relations. Cool, yeah, name him Damon, I don't care. I tell you what I will do. I think I'm gonna find a spouse for Tyrion. I could marry him to Robert Baratheon's bastard daughter. It would secure an alliance with the Seven Kingdoms again. But eventually I kind of do want to go against the Seven Kingdoms. So let's take a look at alliance power and see what I can get. I could marry Tyrion to Asha Greyjoy. That's interesting. Very interesting. She's pretty and quick. 8 years old. Tyrion is 11. Greyjoy, I would get an alliance with the Greyjoys. That might be a good idea, because the Greyjoys are kind of annoying. I don't know if they're going to have the whole rebellion, Greyjoy rebellion, event chain. I know that the other bookmark has that, I believe. I could get an alliance with the Hightowers. Hightowers, once again, if you watch House of the Dragon, you'll know Otto Hightower and Alicent Hightower play a big role in that show. And in the lore, they're one of the most powerful families. Not very powerful in the current events, like the events of A Song of Ice and Fire and the TV show Game of Thrones. But historically, they're a very well-respected, very powerful family, you could see. And I could marry betroth Tyrion to Lynesse Hightower, who is the daughter of the current Lord, Leighton. She's got some interesting traits here: greedy, gregarious, sadistic, and charming, beautiful, fashionable. So marrying her to a dwarf, no offense to any dwarves, but of course in this time period and today, dwarves are not very well looked upon by society. If you've read the book, you know Tyrion is pretty much one of the most hated and mocked characters by the wider society. I don't think she'll be happy with this marriage, but securing an alliance with the Hightowers, 11,000 troops, could be very, very beneficial. Of course, the Greyjoys, not very many troops, more troops than that, just 3,000 more. Of course, I could keep going for an alliance with Robert and the Seven Kingdoms, you know, the Iron Throne. But I already have an alliance with him through my daughter, married to him. My daughter is the queen of the Seven Kingdoms, Cersei. She's pregnant, and I do eventually kind of want to go against the throne and maybe become independent or something. So you know what? It's either between Asha or Lynesse Hightower here. And I think I'm going to go with Lynesse Hightower, because the Greyjoys and the Iron Islands, you can see that they're kind of close to me here, and they are very hostile, at least in the lore. So it might make sense for me to actually maybe conquer the Iron Islands at some point. Which actually, maybe that's another argument for maybe why I should marry Hmm. You know, in lore, and also she's a different religion, so that could cause some problems. I think I'm gonna go with Lyness Hightower. Let's do it. Let's go with the Hightowers. We'll get a secure an alliance with the Hightowers. And there you go. Tyrion is betrothed to Lyness Hightower. Okay. So I have the money. I am going to actually see if I can take this decision to recover Brightroar. So I believe that you could send someone else on the expedition. I'm not going to go myself, which is good because I'll probably die if I do that. It has been centuries since King Tommen II of the Rock lost Brightroar during his expedition to Valyria. House Lannister has been without a Valyrian steel blade ever since. Perhaps it is time to attempt to recover the blade. There are a few problems that gold cannot solve. With enough money and daring adventurers, Brightroar could be recovered. Louise, a local captain, has offered to lead the expedition. The trip will be both expensive and dangerous, but the rewards would be impressive. Return safely, Louise. Let's do it. Let's send this dude to go find our sword. So if you don't know about more lore stuff, this area here is called Valyria. It is the original home of the Targaryens and the other Valyrian families. They once controlled an empire that spanned like all this, and the Targaryens are like one of the only families that escaped the collapse of this empire. And this peninsula, the Valyrian Peninsula, is basically like a smoking, destroyed piece of land that is like anyone that goes into it like dies. It's a very mystical, kind of fabled place. As you can see, this continent, Essos here, is not playable right now. It's not even populated with any factions or players or characters, but they are going to expand that in the future. They're going to make all of this playable and populated. In CK2, a Game of Thrones mod, it already is. It is like playable over here. Pretty fun actually to play over here because Westeros is great and it is kind of the center of the lore and the story, but over here some pretty interesting stuff can happen. So yeah, we're sending this guy on an expedition to here to find our ancestral Valyrian steel sword. For some reason, one of the moron kings of the Rock, an Lannister ancestor of ours, went on an expedition there to find like some riches or something and lost it there. So that's why we lost it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let this play out, this adventure to find our ancestral sword, and then after that I think I'm gonna call it a day for now, but I'm definitely gonna continue this playthrough. I also have plans to maybe play through some Call of Duty games. I kind of had the urge to play through them on Veteran again, and that's something that I think I'm going to record and upload on the channel, just for fun, and just, because Call of Duty campaigns, they're pretty short. I usually could beat them in like 6 to 7 hours, maybe even less, but on Veteran, they get pretty interesting. I think the first one I'm going to do is World at War, and if you know anything about Call of Duty World at War on Veteran, you know it is going to be frustrating. You're probably going to see me get pretty angry dealing with grenade spam and all the crazy stuff that happens. I'm probably going to do that within the next few days, maybe even later on tonight if I don't end up going to do something or whatever. Looks like my brother Kevin had another kid. Lancel, of course, is his first son, who was born before the mod started. He's a, kind of side character in the events of A Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire. He looks like he had a daughter. Let's give her diplomacy education, Peretta, and let's give her a different name. Tamena, Nacella, Vanessa, Evelyn. How about that? Evelyn Lannister. My new niece. Recovering Brightroar. Louis' expedition is long overdue. They were scheduled to return. I feel something went terribly wrong. Alright, so it looks like he failed. So I guess you just gotta spam that event, that decision. Every time you get 500 gold, you could spam that decision, I guess. Or I gotta wait 10 years. 10-year wait. So I guess there's probably like honestly like a 10% chance that it works, maybe like a 90% chance that it doesn't work. So yeah, it looks like that failed. But alright, I mean, it looks like we're in a pretty good position to stop right now. Let's wait for the month to play out, maybe see if another event pops up or anything. And demand conversion. What? Okay, this is interesting. Robert Baratheon has converted to the drowned gods. I don't know why that happened, or why that would happen. If you know anything about the lore, you'd know why that's kind of weird and ridiculous. and now he's demanding that I convert. I'm gonna go ahead and decline that. That's very interesting, though. I don't know how that happened. He joined the Drowned Gods, which is the religion of the Iron Islanders. Maybe that's his little gambit to prevent the Greyjoy Rebellion. I don't know. We'll see. That's certainly going to be interesting in the future to see how that plays out. But it looks like he did have a son, my first grandchild. And it is my grandchild, whether or not it is actually Robert's child. But based on the hair here, it looks like it actually might be Robert's child. Unless they haven't implemented the whole, blonde hair, bloodline kind of effects. Because, of course, in the TV show and in the books, the way they find out that the three heirs of Robert are actually Jaime's children, or that the hair is blonde, and kind of everyone knows that they're not really Robert's, except for Robert himself and some other, kind of ignorant and aloof individuals. Not aloof, I don't really know the word I'm looking for, whatever. But yeah, my first grandson, the son, allegedly, of Robert, definitely the son of Cersei, and they named him Barristan after the greatest knight in the realms. I wonder if Barristan is still alive, actually. Let me see if I can look him up. Or if he was killed during the sack of King's Landing. Let's just take a look real quick. Barristan... Oh, wait, no. This is the character finder, right? Maybe if I type in Selmy. House Selmy... Yep, he's still the Lord Commander of the Iron Throne, as expected and as in lore. Okay, I think we're going to stop there for the day. So, some pretty interesting things happened. Robert won his rebellion after I sneakily went into King's Landing and sacked the city and had my son overthrow the king. King Aerys, the Mad King, is dead. I do want to see, actually, if his heirs are dead really quick. Let me see what surviving Targaryens there are, actually, before I sign off. Targaryen? Who's still alive? Or are they gone? I don't know how that's working right there. Targaryen dynasty. No match for the characters, so yeah, I think that they are. I think Robert killed them all. Or maybe Daenerys will pop up in a few years or something. I don't know. We'll see if she even has a role to play in this mod yet. But other than that, yeah, some interesting stuff. Robert won his rebellion after I sacked the city. King's dead. Mad King is dead. Robert is the king. For some reason, he converted to the Drowned God. Don't really know how that happened or why that happened. Queen Cersei, my daughter, is the queen of the Iron Throne and married to Robert. They have one child. Robert has his bastard here. They have one child named Barristan. Unconfirmed as to whether or not that is Robert's child or actually Jaime's. I think it's Robert's. And we already failed one attempt to recover Brightroar, our ancestral Valyrian steel sword. And we're kind of just chilling out here. I think I'm going to declare independence or try to make a bid for the throne or do some other more interesting warfare-y type things in the future. But for now, I think we're just going to leave it here. So really excited that this mod is out. Definitely going to be playing a lot more Crusader Kings. I kind of fell off on playing it for a while. I'm going to do that. Stay tuned for the Call of Duty veteran playthroughs I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing World of War, Modern Warfare series, maybe Black Ops. So yeah, we got some stuff upcoming for the channel. Very excited for this mod once again. And can't wait to kind of just dive in and explore kind of the intricacies of it with you guys. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.